If I got an issue, I'm talking. I don't hold in my emotions. But it's another thing to talk to a professional who knows, okay, man, peep this out though, but look at this. Or, you know what I mean? Let's explore more of this.
Well, that's what are you not looking at? Our community, that's always kind of been looked down upon.
One goal, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking thing.
One cool thing about this therapy shit that I will say is, it opens your eyes to things about yourself that you probably didn't even ever think of. You know what I'm saying? Or think about, or
it's like you didn't know what you didn't know.
You didn't know what you didn't know, dog. You could have a whole void that you didn't even realize was a void that's just sitting there, and you might have been subconsciously watering the fuck out that void. But it's because that's what you known to do, and you don't even see it as a void. You just see it as the norm. You know what I mean? If your normal every day was to wake up, kick your door, and go back to sleep, and you did that every day for like a year, you know what I mean? That's something that's in your routine that you do every day. Now someone else will walk in and spend a night with you one day, see you wake up and kick the fucking door and be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I think it's funny how some people don't believe in depression but believe in Jesus. Like, Jesus was depressed. Like, he washed people's feet using his hair and tears. If you had a friend who washed people's feet using his hair and tears, you'd be like, at least I'm doing better than Jesus. Also, there's a scripture in the Bible that just says, Jesus wept. Jesus wept. That means somebody saw him crying and was like, yup. That's what he's doing. Try to help him at all. That's why I read the Bible. Just a lot of bad friends.
One of the main things that's been sticking with me out of everything that one of the therapists told me, and I keep repeating it because I love the concept of it, is she asked me, are you living a biography or an autobiography? Is your life a biography or an autobiography? And most of us want to be quick to say it's autobiography. Of course I'm writing my own shit. But then you start exploring. You may not realize that in certain aspects of your life, you're just following a script. You know what I'm saying? And how much of it is really yours? And that's just brought me down so many avenues. You heard me? Like, I'll give you an example. I don't mind even being transparent about this. All right, so I didn't meet my dad till I was fucking 25 years old. You heard me? And the only thing I knew about my dad was that he was like this player ass cat. Like, he had all these women. Right now he's completely reformed, married, and like a completely different guy. But like, you know what I mean, at 17 to his 20s, he was some other cat. And I never even knew him, but that's all I knew of him. So that created almost like a shadow representation of who he was for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to my uncle, and he telling me all these things about my dad, and it's eerily lining up with my dating life and how I have been in relationships with women. And it's tripping me out because I'm like, I don't even know this nigga. He's never like, he didn't raise me. I never, how is this like in the DNA? But you don't know, one, DNA is a motherfucker. But two, still, unbeknownst to me, I could have been trying to follow that shadow of what I know of him. Because that's the only thing I know of my dad since forever. Of course, I'm still making my own choices. Don't take accountability away. But you don't realize when, I'm not following my script. I'm following certain shit that's already been laid out that I don't necessarily have to do.
A study published in this week's issue of Nature Neuroscience finds that past trauma can also be passed down to your children through sperm. Researchers exposed a group of male mice to repeated and prolonged periods of intense stress, thus inducing symptoms of depression. They then allowed the mice to reproduce and found that both the second and third generation of their offspring showed the same symptoms of trauma despite never having experienced it themselves.
Like, he didn't settle down till like about 8 or 9 years ago. And I'm like, he's in his 50s. So if I stay along this same biography, this same line, that means I'm gonna be older by the time I have kids, or by the time you know what I mean? I gotta figure out, I gotta get back on what the fuck. I need to write my own freaking story and figure out what I need and figure out what I want to make my choices and grow up and shit. But it was through this mental health thing that made me have certain clarity, because I would never have even thought to unpack those things and make those connections to look like, damn, bro, peep yourself, son. You know what I mean?
My tear ducts dried up and became a deserted land. And in all my years, the men in my life have taught me that my emotions is a disease, because where I'm from, showing the wrong emotions might get you killed, or worse, you will live in the shame of being human. For so long, I thought my emotions were weakness. It took 2 years into my marriage for my wife to see me cry once, and when she did, I thought I failed her. I thought She doesn't need a weak man in the house at this time. She doesn't need a husband so human. The first time I was taught how to feel, I was in counseling.
Like, we never really encouraged like real mental therapy until recently.
That's a very recent
you know what I'm
occurrence.
saying? Like, we always call this shit crazy. You know, you go into the shrink and all this type of shit. You know, like something's wrong with you. You know, but you know, I'm glad that we're finally being more open to the fact, because every fucking body else does it.
Especially black men, though.
Yeah,
That's the big one, because you were transparent. I can be transparent. I've been on a journey to health all of 2021. It hasn't just been physical. It's been mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, the whole shtick. I am in the best mental space I've been in probably since before I went to the Marine Corps. Because I got married before I went to the Marine Corps. I was divorced while I was in the Marine Corps. I probably spent the next 6 years depressed and didn't realize it until 6 years. And then it took another 2 to 3 years to get out of it. Because there were so many so many things that I had subconsciously suppressed down and just started filling my life with everything else. You know, I'm throwing myself headlong into my job. Right now it's as a Marine. I ranked up real quick, but I was still mad. I got out. I worked with a high school band in Virginia for a second. That was cool. Didn't like that either. Now I'm teaching. I love teaching, but I'm miserable when I leave work. Not because the day was hard, but I'm just so busy, so tired of pouring out and not replenishing myself. And now I'm at a place where it's like, oh no, that's why this vacation was so important for me. I have to go somewhere for me and do something for me.
Reset.
Hard reset.
Yeah, hard.
Hey, I quit today. Frankie, you a bitch. If you want that, I would have knocked your old ass out on my mama. You a pussy, you been a pussy, you a bitch, you racist. I been racist, or what? You gonna call the police, or what? You gonna call the police? You a bitch, pussy ass cracker. Or what, Frankie? Fuck it, I quit, Joe. I got all the utmost respect for you. Only thing about you, you did that shit with that ticket, like you wanted me to pay for that ticket or something. But other than that, utmost respect for you. I love you, Joe. But this white bitch right here, she racist as fuck. She gonna have her dead hair. That bitch gonna burn in fucking hell.
Dre.
I quit. You can't tell me nothing.
It's unnecessary though. Dre.
Call the police. What they gonna do?
Dre, it's unnecessary.
She racist as hell, Joe. She racist as hell. I see you, bitch, every day.
Mental health in the black community, specifically amongst black men, not to exclude black women or black anybody else, but as a black man, it's good to see other black men here and in my circles back home. God, it sounds so bad. Talking about mental health is great.
Here are 5 self-care tips for men. Number 1, work out. Our mental health affects our physical health and vice versa. Working out releases endorphins, which causes us to feel better, and a healthy body can also lead to a healthy mind. Number 2, quality time with friends and family is being intentional about taking time out to spend with people that you care about and having meaningful conversations and experiences. Number 3, journal, because it allows you to get excess thought out of your head. Also, later on, you can read through what you've written and reflect on your own personal growth. Number 4, go for a walk. Sometimes what we need to feel less overwhelmed is to have a brief change in environment. This can interrupt the monotony of the day and give your mind a much needed break. Number 5, say no and do not feel guilty. The word no is truly powerful. It allows you to set boundaries and mean it. By saying no and meaning it, you put your comfortability and well-being first. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup.
The other thing that you said was you can be depressed and not even know it. You know what I mean? Like, I just recently, I haven't had a car for 2 years. I've been driving since the age of 16 up until my 30s. You know what I mean? I've never not known what it meant to have my own agency. I was always spoiled in that way. So these past 2 years of not having a car, I cannot explain to you how crazy I've been going. You heard me? And especially with what I do. You talking about off mic, how, dog, you be busy, you know what I mean? The acting thing. Son, not having a car, son, doing this acting shit, whether it's going to auditions, whether it's being in another state, whatever it is, dog, so much. Even down to my relationship. I'm depending on my ex at the time, you know what I mean? More than I probably would have. So much shit. And now I have a car again, and I'm at a more I realized, damn, I was fucking depressed those last 2 years. Like, for real. And I feel like, you know what I mean? Because as a man, son, there's certain... You start feeling inadequate if you don't have a job, a car, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, if you don't have certain things in place as a man, you don't feel like a fucking man. Even if you popping, like, because even though these past 2 years, everybody see me bash you on TV, you on movies, people be like big upping me and shit, respecting me and shit, but I had no whip, so I still felt incomplete. So no matter how much hype you got, I'm like, nigga, I'm still Ubering everywhere. Nigga, I'm still on the bus. Nigga, I'm waiting for more lady to scoop me. You feel me? Though I used to be so like my ex. She have a kid, a son. I used to be so fucking mad in my body to a point like that little man had to see me getting scooped. You heard me? By his mom's majority of the time. Because when I met her, I had a car. You know what I mean? But now I don't have a car. Like, everything just feels like extra. And everybody know you're not your vehicles. You're not your materials. You're still whatever. But you could get in your freaking head.
Like, you know, the material things don't make you, but that don't make them any less fucking important for you.
Especially with what you need.
You still need shit, so yeah, you know.
And society don't help. And society don't help, son.
They gonna make sure you feel shame about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
So.
Look at my face.
No. Yeah. That shit, yeah, it's true.
That shit'll really get to you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, mentally, that shit will fuck you up.
I can't come and go as I please.
Right. I have no autonomy whatsoever. And like, you go without that for 2 years. Of course, as soon as you get your car, it's like, God damn. That was a fucking night.
It's the biggest sigh of relief and weight lifted feeling. And then it's the scary thing because it's like, man, this is regular, me having a car.
Right.
But this feels so big right now. This is like a monumental feeling of having your own agency again. Being able to back after having it for so long and losing it. Because I just bought my first car in March from 2 to 3 years without having a car.
Oh,
now imagine teaching every day, coaching all the time, having to go to this place and that place for this practice and that practice.
Yes.
Games and relying on a ride to get there.
Ooh, damn it, man.
Brother, man, you know what the fuck I've been through there. We've been through the same shit.
So while you were sitting there talking about it, I'm like, dog, I know exactly what you're saying.
Bro. I just be driving now, son. If y'all see me on the streets of New Orleans, I'm just happy. You feel me?
I sat in my car when I got it on March 1st. I sat down in the car and was like, wow. And I almost had like an emotional moment because it's like, dog,
I can imagine.
This feels so good that I can turn this key, turn on some music, some air conditioning, put the windows down, and just drive.
And go about your business.
This the shit you gonna find in a black person's car. A bunch of random ass shit in the armrest you don't need. Fries up under the seat from 2 weeks ago that haven't aged and look exactly the same. Weed crumbs that's probably a whole blunt. Blunt guts and you don't even smoke. Random clothes from 6 different occasions. Your back seat is your closet. A basketball and you don't even hoop. Receipts for shit you can't take back. A glove compartment full of fast food napkins. Empty liquor bottle from when you don't know when because you stay drunk. The car air freshener little trees that's no longer a tree no more because they been lost they smell. A random pair of shoes and flip-flops just in case you gotta run up in somewhere right quick. A McDonald's cup and you don't even eat McDonald's. A gas tank on E because you know your car. Lighters, the big and the crackhead lighter.
It's the little things, dog, that will affect your mental. And I've even looked back of like you get a little temperamental. You don't even realize why you temperamental. You feel me? Just so many things. It's like, damn, like
when you can't rely on yourself as a man, dog, that is some kryptonite for us, bro.
But it's also the mental health aspect of us not even being able to diagnose it at the time of wondering why you feel
fucking loony
or lesser.
I'm curious as to the group session, like how was that experience for you? Because I was looking into something like that, and I was just sort of curious how did you feel about it? I'm gonna start the negative. The only negative I got about it is you only have so much time for yourself because it's a group situation. You heard me? So it's like everybody got to get heard, of course. You know what I'm saying? So you might need a little bit more, which is why you want a one-on-one situation, because that whole hour or hour and a half or even 30 minutes, depending on what you do, is for you and your shit. Right. You know what I mean? The group situation, you probably got a good 15, 20 of just delving into your shit. And the thing is, the brothers are cool. Like, sometimes if it's some real shit that you going through, they will sacrifice their minutes and it'll just be
we running about your shit right now, brother. So you know,
like a solidarity thing.
And that's what leads me into the positives on it is the camaraderie. Like you just running with your niggas, you feel me? And like since it's not your niggas, it's another set of your niggas in the way that you building something with. So it's a different. You don't have any of. I ain't gonna say baggage because baggage ain't the good word for it, but it's something about talking to people that you don't have any connections to, but you all there for the same reason. So it's like a feeling of I can say anything. I don't got to worry about anybody judging me, and such and such don't know that might not be holding some weird resentment from 3 years ago because nigga you don't even know me from 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So we can just run it and everybody be there to be open.
I'm glad they got that kind of resource because so many of us need therapy. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't know where to fucking get it from. You know?
I grew so much from the experience. But I think the most important thing I got is that everything is connected. Every emotion is connected and it comes from somewhere. There was a lot of fights in our neighborhood that started with, what you looking at? Why you looking at me? You looking at me? And then you realize, you think I see you. You're in a space where you're hurting and you think I see you, so you don't want me to look at you. And you don't want me to see you in such a you don't want me to see your pain. Knowing that and understanding that changes life completely.
Was that a moment that came from therapy?
Yeah, just realizing that, oh my goodness, these young men coming from they're just in pain. But you got to survive. So you go into survival mode. And when you go into survival mode, what happened? You shut down.
Right.
You shut down all emotions.
Right.
So even with women, you got shut down emotionally, so you can't connect. And then now all things happen from there. Infidelity.
You can't connect because you
exactly.
can't connect because of the way you feel about yourself, you mean?
Yes.
I often felt like I said earlier, and that's me being too smart for my own good. I'm already open. I'm already like, nigga, like Dia tell you, nigga, we'll run it by all kind of shit for hours. So that's when I'm telling myself, well, I already running with my niggas. I don't need to really go to no therapy. What's the point? I'm open. But again, the therapy aspect of, this is a licensed professional to help you diagnose some shit, help you circle some shit. Because you and your niggas might have the same voice and you don't even know this shit. You know what I mean? Y'all might just be pouring the same shit out and no one's getting that diagnosed and then you don't even know how to fix it.
Yeah, the objective perspective is key in that kind of situation for therapy. You gotta be able to look at it from the outside with no horse in the race.
And to know that there's something to look for, because again, I think I was telling myself, well, I'm good. I think that's what most of us tell ourselves. I'm good, I'll get there. Nothing's wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain norms that we accept as our norms that, well, everybody do that. You feel me? Like, for instance, I got a temper. And that's one thing that, that's on the list of things that you could get therapy to work on.
Yeah, you tripping, you crazy, you stupid, and you tripping.
I'm crazy and I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Man, get the fuck, man.
I came at you correct.
You came at me correct. You went to go see a whole other nigga. You thinking that shit right.
That's all you hear
man,
right.
Fuck you,
That's
man.
all you hear right now, right? All about another nigga.
You serious? What I expect you to not go see a nigga that done turned you on? How about that? Think about that. Oh, no fucking words, huh? Fuck out of here, man. There's this guy on TikTok, son, and I ain't gonna front. Like, I watched this cat, and he made me look at myself very differently. I'm not like him, but I can get like that.
Don't you ever come into my comment section talking about I should abandon black women. Never. Fuck them other women. They're the reason our women don't know how to keep us in the first place. Maybe you perfect, but I'm not. So.
But he flip out for everything. He's just so extra. It's like,
What, you thought it was over? And if you do happen to go over there, don't act like we brothers no more, bro, because we.
That's like, bro. Now it's like, I know I get amped. I hope if that's how I look to somebody, I need the real my fucking self. You heard me? So. I remember watching one of his reasons for how he is. He has followers who support him, and he was on his level of, I'm just passionate. And I've often said that myself about me, like, I'm a passionate person. And I'm like, damn, have I been hiding my monster away, tucked behind this notion of passion? Because him saying it scares me, and I'm a nigga, I can take a lot of that. I can take all kind of rah. And when he rah, I'm like, get the water hose, guys. Like, what the fuck? You hear me? So it was one of those things of that of, your norms might not be the norm, and then you go to this thing and they let you know, like, no, that's not good. Let's work on this and wonder why this is and what makes this happen and why you feel the need for this to even remain a norm.
One cool, one thing, one rule, man, that shit don't change. And it's real niggas do real fucking things.